Hello and welcome to This Car Pod.
I'm Kennan.
I'm Filippo.
And we start with the news, and the biggest news is Filippo. Filippo bought a car.
I did buy a car.
You're going to tell us, put the camera on me because you can see it.
Yeah.
All right, look at it. That's it.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
Tell us about it.
It is a 997.2 Targa 4S. It's a wide body car.
Yeah.
Rare car.
Are you one of these Porsche Louis already?
Correct. Basalt black, 90,000 miles.
Is it basalt black?
It is.
What paint code is it?
Somebody will tell us in the comments. It's been delightful. I got it right before Christmas and then went out of town for a couple of weeks. But it's such a delightful car.
Is it a manual?
It is a manual, obviously. What do you think I am?
What other questions would people ask? What's the mileage? 90,000?
90,000.
And
I got a question.
Yeah.
You got some wheels.
Yeah. So it's on BBS LMs. I have luckily
That was a statement, really. More of a comment, really.
the OE wheels, which are Carrera 2s, and those will be going on this week. Just not in time for filming today.
That's tough.
And then if anybody wants to buy some BBSs,
if you want to buy a set of curb rash BBS LMs,
only on one wheel. I do want to say, I bought it from a guy named Luke who took phenomenal care of it. He lives in Madison, Wisconsin. Took great care of it. Truly put in a bunch of time, effort, money, 33 grand in the 4 years he owned it, to make it quite perfect. He upgraded a bunch of things, refurbished a bunch of things, and it's a lovely car.
So, how do you feel? You're
Great.
a Porsche
That's
guy
a
now.
serious car.
I drove it here today. It's just such a good car.
You're a Porsche guy now.
Such a good car.
I'm not a Porsche guy, so I'm curious
Right,
what
you
it's
only
like.
own two.
Well, two. I have two Mercedeses.
All right, I would consider you a Mercedes guy, so that tracks.
Me and Hoovy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Ed Bull.
How do you
And me.
feel? What's it like?
It's
What's
so
it been
good.
like?
It's such a, I get the love. I had not driven a 911, period.
And this is your
before
first real.
Yeah.
I mean, every car you've ever bought ever in your life added together is probably only half as expensive as this car.
We're not at half, but we're barely getting to that number.
So there's a lot of news for you, like firsts for you.
It's so good. We cleared out space in my garage, so it lives in the garage. Kennan, you're welcome.
The
I
car
have
is great.
vacuumed the interior since owning it. Wow. So it's a whole new Filippo. The car is so good. I get the 997 love. I had not driven one before, but it's just such you get in and it's so immediately familiar.
Yep.
And just so delightful to drive and use without being like a precious car. You
Right.
can just use it and drive it. And
It's
just
the
so
best
good.
thing about Porsches is
Yeah.
that they're fun, but also relatively practical and usable.
So good. And also, obviously, 997.2 Targa 4S manual is just incredibly rare. Which adds some coolness factor.
Do you want to talk about why you chose the Targa?
One came up for sale. Here we are. They never come up for sale. The last public sale that we can find is for a manual .2 Targa 4S.
It was years ago,
It
right?
was a couple years ago. They come up
And it had
really
like
rarely.
200,000 miles or something. It wasn't really a comp.
Yeah. Luke, who I bought it from, spent a year or so looking before this one popped up at a dealer in New Jersey in 2020. They're just really rare, special body style. It is the most practical of the 911. There's a hatch,
There's a hatchback.
which we learned only when Doug did a video with Dot
No one
One.
knows that.
There is a hatch. Go watch Doug's video. The most practical 911. .2s are known to have fixed a bunch of the 97.1 problems, which are probably overblown. Our message is not as significant as people think they are.
The interior upgrade is
a big
Good interior upgrades. It's just so good.
LEDs.
It's so excellent.
Well, Filippo, I, for one,
Love it.
am very proud of you.
Thank you.
My friend group can no longer say that you're pulling a Filippo by not buying a car.
Thank you.
did commit to buying
Especially
one.
because he bought big. But I will say
bought big.
this. I will
Yeah.
say this. I am anxious
Four.
about the number of Porsches we have.
We have too many Porsches in our group.
I got a Porsche. He's got a Porsche. Nick's got a Cayenne. He never talks about it because he doesn't want to be a Porsche guy. But
But
Nick
he
has a
has one.
Cayenne. Our buddy Sam's got something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is that all? There's too many Porsches.
There's
Hey,
a
I'm doing
997
my part.
GT3 RS.
You are doing
There-
The other German manufacturer.
That's
We
true.
have a friend who has.
True.
We have also another friend who has a 997 GT3 RS, and then there's Edison.
Yeah.
So what do we do? What do we do about that?
I think we lean in. We start wearing a lot of Porsche clothing. We wear the Porsche design watches.
I don't
we get
want to
the
go
hats.
down this road. Spike's already got this covered.
He's got the old Porsches covered.
Yeah, I
We
think
can
he's
lead
got.
into
I think
new-
all
He's got
the
a
Porsche
993 though.
people. I think all the Porsche people are Spike's people, and he's got that done.
Oh, we're out of luck.
we
Let's
got to
sell.
be more generalist.
Let's sell.
I got to get rid of my 993 now. You forced my hand.
Great. Can
How
I buy
many
it?
miles have you driven this car?
I was gone for the vast majority of my ownership so far. I think I've done 250 miles or something like that.
Wow.
Which isn't bad for being at home for about a week of owning it.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Do you
Yeah.
go out to the garage and you see it and it's like, oh my God? What did I do? Are you
No,
excited?
no, pure excitement. I mean, the money spent. Like, I don't
Really?
I
Because
don't
you're
think
not
about
one
the opportunity cost.
You're not one to spend money lightly.
No, I am not.
This is a man who used to cross-shop fruit for pricing. So now he has a 911.
I know life has changed and it's not for the better. I should go back to cross shopping fruits for the best prices. I still do in my head. Don't worry.
The lifestyle creep has really taken over.
Yeah, but I don't feel any level of regret in the least.
Yeah, I mean, it's a car you can get out of pretty easily.
Oh, very.
And I have like service records going back to when it was new. A
me ask
bunch
you
of
this.
important work's been done.
Say someone writes into us at Sean@carsandbids.com, SEAN at carsandbids.com. Say they write into us
Yeah,
and they say, I'll give you 85 today. You selling?
I would have to think about that. There comes a price point where it's like, why would I not sell it? But it's not a car that I'm interested in selling. Unlike Kennan, I plan on keeping this for at least a while.
I will say this. I worked at Porsche when this car was when it was around. I didn't start there. I didn't start at Porsche until 10, so I wasn't around for this
launch,
specific car and the launch of this car. But I remember that the Targa 4s and the Targa 4Ss, and in addition to the 4S, there's also a base car, just the standard Targa 4. The Targa 4 base is rarer than a manual Cayenne. The 4S was a little more common, but I remember we were doing maybe 15 units a month. It wasn't something the dealers were actively even trying to sell. A lot of dealers had never seen one.
Yep.
They were very, very rare cars. Obviously, when the 991 came out and the Targa roof changed, it became like the hottest 911, which it still kind of is.
Yep.
But during this period, it was a very, very, very special car. And one of the distinguishing features is this little silver line.
Yep. Yep.
That goes down the car. Only the Targas had that, and that's how you know.
My understanding is that something like 1,500 were built for .2 Targa 4Ss, which is really rare by general
1,500
production.
for global or for US?
I believe global.
That wouldn't surprise me.
But don't quote me on that. Haven't done that much fact checking. I'm not one of those Porsche guys.
So it's only slightly more common than an F40.
Only slightly more common than F40.
So we see an F40 and we see that, and it's like, damn,
Well,
same thing.
That's a trim. That's a trim.
But
An F40 is a whole car.
I agree.
You know what? I want to talk about F40s.
Actually, technically, it's a trim of a 308 in a way.
You know what? You know what's hit me about
Underneath
F40s?
it is.
You know what's hit me about F40s? Everybody's always like, oh, I got an F40 for sale. Non-cat, non-adjust. Like, they're like, oh, that's like the thing. Because the only difference between the F40 is catalytic converter and adjustable suspension.
Yep.
And they're all always like, it's a desirable non-cat, non-adjust example. I want a cat adjust. I want the worst one. They never come up. Find me the worst one.
Well, also, I have to imagine a lot of the cat adjust cars have either been decatted and fixed static suspensions have been put in their place. So they've been kind of made that way. Yeah,
That's true.
It's an interesting
the cat adjust cars are all non-cat and adjust now anyway.
Right.
But everybody's like so proud of this when they were announcing an F40 for sale. And like, I want the cheapie. Find me a cat adjust that's been hit. That's what I'm looking for.
Yep. Track. We want pictures of it
on a track
on the Nordschleife of sideways.
I want it to have. I wanted the engine block to have been destroyed in some sort of over rev. That's what I'm looking for.
That mischief just didn't quite get it.
So here we are. That's
We have a car.
That's the big news of the week. Filippo's got a 997 Targa. And last night he was over at my house and he was eyeing the 993 and he admitted he would be interested in one of those at some point.
unfortunately, they're just 3 times the price.
It's interesting.
And that's
though.
insane.
He's already going down.
No.
This is why I'm done. The only other Porsche I want is a 996 GT2, but I'm definitely not doing that next. And I am done. I will never have another Porsche.
Oh, yeah. You want to, like, how were we shaking on this?
Short of the
Pinky promise?
996 GT2, I would shake-ish.
Shake it.
You'd shimmy.
I'm not interested in any of them. I like yours. I think it's cool as hell.
I'm very into it. It's been it's such a good drive.
It's been a bit of a kick in the face for us all to accept the fact that Filippo, who is, how should I put it? He's
how will you put it?
He's a careful and he's a man of modest existence.
Yeah.
Is driving around in a 997 Targa. It's like, wait a second.
I don't get how this happened either.
This is a recession indicator.
Yep, the market's doing great. Exactly what it is.
It's odd as a decision, but from like a practicality financial standpoint, I do think I can get out of it even money at literally any point. The rarity factor kind of helps.
Yeah.
Even as 997.1s do drop a little bit. So I'm not worried about that. They're relatively reliable. I'm going to do a little bit of preventative work and get it checked out just to make sure that it all doesn't need anything. But it's like, shouldn't be that costly to own. Should be to get out of. is everyday drivable. I'm like not worried about it in that way. My wife is incredibly worried every time she goes out to the garage.
They're just going to damage it?
Yeah.
Is it PPF'd?
On the front. Maybe the rest will get PPF. Maybe it won't. I don't want to put it out, that outlay of cash.
It is a lot of money. And I generally, it's rare that, unless you scrape like the wide body on your garage when you're pulling in.
You've never done that.
Most people have never done that. Anyway.
But I'm incredibly excited.
I'm proud of you. I'm so thrilled. You got a car. You went hard. And so did he. Last year.
He has more torque than the world.
There was a time when we did this podcast where I was worried that none of us would ever buy a car. Because I knew you wouldn't. And I was off cars.
Yeah.
And I thought he wouldn't. And then we all did.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's true. We all look at this.
I bought 2 cars in 2025, by the way.
Yeah, one was an accident. You didn't mean to.
I loved it, though.
All right, let's move on to the real news. We'll get back to the 9/11 later. There's a lot more to discuss about it, but we'll get back there because we have a picture of Trump and China and what appears to be a Zeekr.
Yeah. Chinese EVs are going to come to the U.S.
Well, I already see him. The other day I was driving around.
Oh, from Mexico.
The other day I was driving around and I saw an MG just like my grandpappy's old one.
Right, the heritage is there, alive and well, made in China.
It was an electric crossover from Mexico, but it reminded me of those drives with grandpappy.
So we've all known this is going to happen eventually, and there are a few Chinese-made cars for sale in the U.S. Fun fact.
Are there now?
There's one technically for sale. The Buick Elantra is for sale technically.
The Buick?
Sorry, the Lotus Elantra. But for the last few years, the Buick Envision,
a few of them
was made in
existed
China.
Pre-tariff.
The S90L.
Well, and the Polestar too.
Yeah,
a few of them are pre-tariff. And when you go to Canada, you'll see Model 3s with LVINs.
Really?
Yes.
And Mexico.
Or you did. I think they have. I think they also have put a stop to all that.
The reason it's in the news is CES, which is like the big consumer electronics show in Las Vegas, is this week right now. Not a ton of car news, but a ton of like tech, etc. news. And one of China's largest automakers is BYD.
Build your dreams.
Build your dreams. And Geely is the other like large competitor. And Geely this week has said that they're going to they're going to release a plan in 2 to 3 years for when they'll be in the U.S. But they also really clearly hinted at the fact that they have factories in the U.S. because Geely owns Volvo, and Volvo does have a factory in South Carolina. They have factories in the U.S. that they could use, and that will likely be a part of their entry to the U.S. So basically, Chinese EV, but making it
something else that hits me. You ever been to a factory? It's like a corrugated metal building. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You could build that. No problem.
I think what we'll see
is the tooling that's a little bit harder there, I think.
I think a long weekend with a couple cold ones, you and me could put together at least a small factory. Like it's not like a house where you got to have like...
Right, where you gotta respect the living.
Right.
Factories you don't have.
The whole floor is just cement. I mean, you can just do this in a long weekend. Huh?
So's ours. You know what? We're most of the way there, actually. There are no clocks down here.
Our lease does not allow factory work.
Doug doesn't allow us to be unionized.
This week, over the Christmas holiday, I tried to teach my son about the marriage in a car production line where the body. It didn't. I don't think it landed.
Yeah. But basically, they've hinted at they're going to find a way around the tariffs. Right. At this point, the Chinese automakers are huge multinational conglomerates that can build factories other places. And they've made very clear that they will. In Europe, they've made huge inroads. BYD that I mentioned earlier is coming out with a bunch of additional vehicles in Europe. The take rate there has been stronger and stronger and stronger. And it was only a matter of time before they announced plans to enter the US.
Okay, a couple questions. First off, it's not really an end run around the tariffs. Like, I don't know, I don't want to speak for President Trump, but in my view, if this car is being made with American labor.
Agreed. Not an end run around tariffs at all.
Not only is it not an end run around tariff, but isn't that what we're hoping for with the tariffs?
With China, there's a little bit more complexity because we also have a bunch of other regulations in place that don't allow some Chinese technology, including a lot of chips, to be used in products sold in the U.S. So there's a bunch of additional elements here where the Chinese automakers will need to work.
Isn't our iPhone like all Chinese?
Yeah,
they're
getting a little specific.
Okay, here's another question, and this one is more theoretical, and you don't have to answer it. If Zeekr or BYD or Geely, they might be the same company, they might be different.
They're not.
If they decided to build in Greenland, would that count as America?
It really depends on whether we require Greenland.
Not yet.
All right.
But they're coming. By the way, Zeekr minivan is what Waymo uses in their current...
How is that allowed, by the way?
I don't know.
Okay. I will say I have been. I'm not surprised that they're thinking about maybe. I do think it'd be a lot of work for the Chinese automakers to get into the U.S. Not only do they have to build here and apparently avoid these chips and create a dealer network, but there's a lot of I don't know if you've been paying attention, but there's a lot of anti-China.
Okay, I've been thinking a lot about this. I think it's usually specifically about Italy just because I have the most exposure to that, but across Europe, Chinese automakers 10 years ago were like the cheapest cars you could buy, were derided for that same thing because there's a lot of animosity there too. And now they're everywhere because they made competitive
But there's a political issue.
More cheaply.
It's beyond just, this is cheap crap, which is how we thought about the Korean cars when they showed up 30 years ago.
There is no country more racist than Italy, especially towards...
but Italians also don't have a lot of money. Right. Americans have it,
turns out.
And they don't have as much choice with their vehicles. Americans have more choice and more money, and also generally are a little bit anti-China. By the way, we have this road sign in the back that says 88. We're not advocating for China here. My God. Move on to the next news story.
All right. Wait, one more comparison point before we get to the Japanese brand. The U.S. was not very pro-Japan when Toyota, Honda started selling here, and now largest automakers. It will take time.
You know what happened, though? They weren't pro-Japan until they realized that Japanese cars functioned properly, but already now all the cars function properly. Unless it's Chrysler, you're getting a car that works. And so the Chinese don't have that advantage. And they have a big disadvantage in they're being built in a country that we, except for whoever put that road sign up, we are questioning.
Why did you decide to wait to buy an iPhone until they move production to India?
Is production in India?
It will be.
I love the Indians. Love the Chinese, too. I love the whole world.
At this point, let's move on. You're right.
All right. Weeknights are chaos. You finish work, maybe you hit the gym, you get home, and then suddenly it hits you. What are you doing for dinner? Grocery prices are high, takeout is expensive, and no one wants a huge cleanup. That's why Every Plate is such a win. It's the affordable, low-stress way to get actually good meals on the table without making dinner a whole thing. Everything shows up pre-portioned, so there's way less mess and food waste, and the meals are ready in about 30 minutes. Plus, their menu is legit. They have comfort-forward stuff like crispy buffalo ranch chicken and caramelized onion smash burgers, and they're currently offering their biggest menu yet. More chicken dishes, more veggie options, more global flavors, and over 35 choices every week so you don't get bored. And the best part, it's cheaper than the grocery store and about half the price of takeout with straightforward pricing and no surprises. Try Every Plate and get $2.99 off per meal on your first box plus free steak for a month. Go to everyplate.com/podcast and use the code CARSSTEAK to claim your offer. That's code CARSSTEAK at everyplate.com/podcast to get $2.99 per meal on your first box plus free steak for a month. Offer varies by plan. One free 10-ounce serving of steak per box for 4 weeks with active subscription. Ditch dinner time dilemmas with Every Plate.
to the Sony Honda Afeela.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. So this is Afeela. It's a new car company.
Remember.
It's a joint production between Sony and Honda. Mm-hmm. It was revealed a while ago. They actually have a new SUV that's not pictured here that they just revealed at CS. They have started production at Honda's plant in Ohio.
Well, it's about time because the Prologue has been canceled. And by the way, Honda hasn't announced that yet or even implied it, but it will.
Yeah.
And I remember the Prologue was supposed to be a stopgap before this came out. And then this was delayed like crazy. And the Prologue was like, grappling along, just trying to find 3 people a year who wanted to buy it. And it's failed at that. And so finally this is here.
Can I tell you the tagline? So this is the Afeela 1, which will be about $90,000 for the base trim of it. It's an expensive.
How are they going to be sold? Through what dealers are they?
It's going to be California only. First to start with, first deliveries would be in California.
What is Honda's role in this? Are they Honda dealers? Do I have to go to the Honda dealer to buy this car? I'm not spending $90,000 at a Honda dealer.
So far, they're selling only in places where you don't need to sell through a dealer, which California includes.
Okay, so they're going to be at the mall.
They're going to be at the mall.
I don't want to go to the mall either.
Can I
Point of sale, not a great situation for you in general. Whether it's buying groceries or buying a car.
I do sometimes go to the grocery store. If they were at the grocery store,
there's a move. Store. Nobody else is doing that. You want to get some apples? You want to get an Afeela or whatever it's called?
Can I tell you the tagline that's on their website? It's 3 words: autonomous, sound, visual.
That's worse than, what was it, what was the Aston Martin one?
Oh,
Body, Power, Soul.
Power, Beauty, Soul.
Yep.
Wasn't it? Right.
Autonomous sound visual.
Visual. Boy, that wasn't run by
This is
anybody.
gonna struggle, but they are starting to
This is
build
gonna
them.
they're building a $90,000 sedan.
They also are building
And
like
the- and the-
coupe
and the-
If there's
SUV.
one thing
And the
we
builders-
learned, yeah, if there's one thing we've learned with new companies, definitely start with a
Start
sedan
with an
that's
expensive
really expensive.
sedan.
It makes-
And-
Worked for Lucid.
And the brands, make it be Sony and Honda, two brands well known for their expensive luxury goods.
Okay, the car itself is wild because they're basically advertising it as like a way for them to put a bunch of their tech in things. So there's a bunch of AI, LiDAR. You can play PlayStation games inside.
Can I ask you a question?
It's weird.
Do we have to get this?
Do we have to buy it? No.
No, like the world. Does this have to come?
I was really
Can we just...
We got a lot of
Hoping it
problems.
wouldn't.
Can they focus on something else?
I actually am excited for Honda's pair up with Sony about EVs. I truly am, because we've been hearing a lot about the enormous amount of money they've invested
Yeah.
and all the tech that it's going to come. And so far, Honda's EV attempts have been meager, to say the least. This doesn't seem appealing.
So it doesn't seem appealing. It's 300 miles of range at the most. That's not competitive for a large luxury sedan anymore.
You know,
the Lucid Air
every
is 500
time we bring
something.
up EVs on this podcast, you get into a big range thing.
I think it's like the market differentiator.
I
now.
don't think that range is something people care that much about. Lucid's got that one that'll drive from here to
Poland.
as long as most of the drive is on a ship, yeah.
Right, yeah.
As long as you drive
You
it
just
onto
put-
a ship and then it drops you off in France, it can in fact get to Poland.
Yeah. Okay.
But no one cares.
I don't think that's true. And I think it's a little bit of a testament to it, when you control for size, so like large sedan to large sedan to large sedan, I think it's a little bit of a demonstration of their advancement, their technology, their actual investment in making a really competitive next generation.
I think for American consumers, range is one of the largest objections to EVs. Everybody says, I don't have 500 miles, I'm not going to use it. But then they
cars that have 500 miles, people still don't buy.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, it's Lucid Air.
And nor do people really need that range
Right.
if you actually analyze how you use a car.
Yeah.
They just want the
I
comfort
think
of knowing.
300 is like a pretty good standard.
I think that's fine.
How did you not get further? It's like when you look at an old American car and they had a 17-liter V8 and it made 100 horsepower. It's like, how did you not?
Because I don't think that they're focused on it. I don't think that this is. I don't
should
think
be.
that. I think their target was probably 300 miles range because that's what all their competitors do. And I think they were like that'll be fine. I think they're probably right. I don't think it's going to sell in any respect, no matter
No,
how
they're
they
not
sell
expecting
it,
it to.
how they
Sure.
sell it, where they sell it, or who it will not sell, or what brand name it's. This will
Afeela.
not sell. Also, Afeela is the stupidest name I've ever heard in my life. Do you agree with that?
It's up there.
It's up there. Lucid Air way better.
Definitely
It's
way better.
Afeela by Sony Honda Mobility, if you're curious for their full name. It's Afeela. It's Afeela 1.
So what you're telling me is everything on their website is named stupidly, including their
Yeah.
tagline,
The car.
the car.
And they're doing the
itself.
one thing like Polestar, which is already leading to a bunch of BS.
It really is.
First off, I just reviewed a Polestar. Don't remember which.
You reviewed the 4?
Yeah, I guess.
Did it have a back window?
No, is that the
So
4?
that's a 4.
Okay, so the 4 is cheaper than the 3.
Yeah.
And smaller.
Well, because
So I bought the 3. Oh, it's actually a lower number than the 4, even though it's a nicer car.
that's how you know that it's been out for longer.
Imagine if the BMW 8 Series was a front-wheel drive hatchback. That's what we're talking about.
That's rough.
All right, move on to the next news story. There's more good stuff.
Oh, this is
The
exciting.
TRX is back.
Yes, it is.
The TRX is back.
This is so exciting. It's back, but not only is it back, it's back with a serious engine. If you go to their website, my understanding is if you go to their website, they can get to the engine. This is exactly what it says. It says, hell yeah, it's got a Hemi V8.
You're joking.
Nope, they know their customers really well, but it's got a 777
Oh my God, you're not joking.
supercharged 6.2
Pull up the
liter
website. I wanna see the
goddamn V8.
And yeah, it's got the signature growl. Let it rip.
You know, I'm of two minds about this, believe it or not.
Really?
I love the RHL. I think the RHL
RHL
has
still
gotten
exists.
so unfairly hated on.
Yeah, I agreed. But it still exists. There's just more.
777 horsepower, 600.
Where's the hell yeah? I want to see it.
Oh yeah, right. It's right
It's
down
that.
here, and there's a button where you can. It goes, hell yeah, it's got a Hemi V8.
Oh my God.
And you can press a button and it makes noise.
They're crappy start-stop buttons. They're horrible plastic start-stop buttons.
You can't tell it's plastic on it.
No, you can't, but that's the same one they've been using in everything since the Dodge Dart.
But I love that. But I am so happy that this is back. It's just a ridiculous truck. It does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds.
Pretty wild. It's nice to have it back, I agree. 777 horsepower. You going to get one?
No.
But Nick might.
Demon V8.
Yep.
But but it ain't cheap. Base price of it starts at $102,500.
What is a Raptor R though?
I don't know what a Raptor R is, but
It's close.
Raptor R is 114. Raptor R has always been more expensive. TRX was always the value, and it's still the value. However, RHO is so good.
The RHO will continue.
I still haven't seen one on the road.
I saw one. I saw it last weekend, and I almost took a picture of it.
I'm astonished. Like, they're so good.
I know.
You like the Hurricane.
I like the Hurricane.
We drove that Charger with the Hurricane, and it was great.
I
was
did not,
revving.
yeah.
You didn't drive. Oh, you weren't here.
I wasn't here that
That's
time.
the mistake you make when you leave. Instead of next week, I'm getting the Outback. Not the same.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, but it's not the. You want to drive the 6-pack, buddy.
Well, I will say I don't want
I want to
load it
drive
up.
this. Can
So-
you get one of these soon?
Yeah, presumably.
This is so cool.
So they're back with the TRX. Is our next news story the Charger? Move on to the
It
next.
should.
Yes.
Boom! The
Hand me the
Charger's got a
Charger.
V8 back, which actually is unfortunate because I just reviewed the 6-cylinder and I filmed it all and it's already gone. And I was like, I think they're going to do a V8, maybe. I didn't know, and now they are. They screwed me over.
Yep. They originally said it was going to be just EV, and then there was going to be a V6 version or an
Straight
straight 6 version.
Yeah.
And now there's a V8.
V8. How much power is this thing?
I
gonna have?
I think they haven't announced which V8. Yeah, they haven't yet decided, or rather, they haven't yet announced whether it'll be the 5.7 and 6.4 supercharged or not. You got to assume eventually it'll have.
I
777
drove
horsepower.
the Hurricane standard output Charger.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't know that I would spend what they ask.
What do they ask?
It's like too expensive. It's like more than a Mustang. But I would argue, and I apply this to a lot of goods. It's also a lot more car than a
longer.
Mustang. So like you're ahead and away,
It might be longer than a TRX.
and it's a hatch.
If that's what you're after.
Yeah.
You're heading away. It turns, if you park kind of dimensionally, you are ahead.
It's cool. I liked the 6-cylinder. I'm thrilled they're doing a V8. The V8s are
Yes.
back.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Zeeker's over here. We're going to come to America. We don't want it. We want this.
There will certainly be a Hellcat 1 too. You got to assume. And
Yeah, of
Then there'll be a Hellcat Red Eye, and then there'll be a Hellcat.
And you know what? I have to
whatever,
tell you.
Wide
the
body.
next ones are.
I
whatever.
gotta tell you, if they do that, I don't see why this is worse than the outgoing one.
It's not.
Like, it started as an EV and got a lot of hate, but I think if they do come with a full line of 6-cylinder, V8s, 4 doors, special editions, they did it again. They succeeded again with another great car, and I love how it looks.
Unfortunately, they will have taken 3 years off of the market.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
It was a mistake. But we
I
all
think-
thought EVs was where it was going to
Yeah.
go. You installed an EV charger in your hip.
Convenient. What's a charge?
Was not what I was expecting him to say, but it is pretty amazing if they're able to turn the tides that fast
Yep.
and be able to put it. It's like, well, then I sure hope Porsche can figure the thing out with the Cayman
They will.
quicker.
Well, these
This is a
these
Chrysler, for
existing
God's sake.
powertrains in a car with a massive front.
Yep.
So probably
Easier.
now Porsche. Who knows? I mean, I don't know where they were going with those cars. You know,
batteries are big. Rip that
Yeah.
crap out. you
Yeah,
know?
but batteries are big, thin, and long.
they're thin and long. That's part of the problem. Is like some of these cars, when the automakers say it wasn't engineered to be a gas engine, a lot of times it's true.
Yep.
A lot of times they're lying to us.
We'll see.
As-
I'm still waiting for that diesel Mazda 6.
Right.
Any day
Right.
now.
That's
Any day now.
forget about that car with frequency, as did the rest of the world.
Okay, next story.
Oh, this is
You've been
exciting.
paying
I
attention
have
to
been
this?
paying zero attention to this.
Subaru saying new STI is coming. They haven't said anything about it.
No, but they said they're going to announce it at the Toyota Auto Salon, right? Which is on Friday when this airs, so we don't know.
They're going to bring it.
Thing.
It was really soon. Yeah.
There will be a new MR2 there too,
Now,
theoretically.
it could be one of those things
Yep.
where it's a appearance package. They've done this before. Remember the BRZ STI or whatever it
There
was
was
called?
the BRZ TS.
You get my point. And it had like red stuff. And we were like,
Yeah.
oh, it's coming. It's going to have 800 horsepower. And it didn't.
No. Nor will this.
Yeah, but this is, I don't know. This seems like if they're going to do this to the WRX, you have to imagine they know the demographic for the car. They know what people want. I would imagine it's not just going to be an appearance package.
Later in this news segment, he's going to report on how bad WRX sales were this
Yeah.
year. So maybe they're hoping. I will say Subaru is
need
also on a
something.
pretty significant product offensive. If you can name any 2 of the new Subarus, I'll buy you an STI.
Of the new Subarus, unfortunately, I only know the legacy models.
Damn, good joke.
Thank you. Thank you. I knew you'd like
There's
that.
a new Forester that just came out. There's a new Outback that came out yesterday afternoon. There's a Trail Seeker.
Yep.
And there's a Sunrunner. What's the last
Uncharted.
one called? Uncharted.
Uncharted.
And of course, the Solterra has been refreshed.
Uncharted, just like
the
it's
Solterra
sales.
is not still on sale, though.
Still on sale,
Nah.
refreshed.
No.
Still on sale, refreshed.
I don't accept it.
I'm so sorry. But it's on sale and it's refreshed.
What I'm telling you is that I don't accept it. It is not good.
The Subaru needs to do something with the WRX. We'll talk. Sales
Why
are
do
down
you say that?
41% last year. It's hefty.
It still outsells a lot of the other sporty. Like, what does BRZ sell?
How many WRXs do you think
It
they
was
sold
like
last year?
10,000, but how many BRZs are they selling?
Right around there.
Yeah, like how many Supras? Like,
But they don't sell them Impreza anymore. They might. I don't think they do. This is the only sedan. I have to look that up now.
yeah, that's true. They have gotten rid of like
It's like a
cars in
standalone
general.
vehicle at this point.
Maybe they should give us a Forester STI that we've always wanted. You know what they should do is give us the Crosstrek STI that we actually want. If they give us a Crosstrek STI, wouldn't you be happier?
When I was in Japan, especially in like the mountain towns where there were like people visiting from out of town, but like live up there, might want something sporty and have money.
cool.
There were so many Lavorgs and Lavorg
Yeah.
STIs, especially the last gen Lavorg STI.
Oh, I would give
which is like the
anything
wagon
for a Lavorg.
WRX.
Yeah,
so cool.
STI, like there's demand in their home market for this too.
You have to
They
imagine.
do offer that in their home market.
They don't offer an STI.
No, but they offer a W.
The Lavorg WRX, which you saw a ton of. Truly. But I think there were last gen Lavorg STIs and current gen WRX.
It did always surprise me that they didn't do this. I always got the sense that Subaru felt like they wanted to be a different automaker. They realized there were sales they were leaving on the table, but they like didn't want to be the automaker of the vape guys anymore.
And now?
And so they went after Outback and they went after Crosstrek and all that. And Nick bought one, not
Yeah.
crazy regular.
Other Nick.
But maybe they decided they want to sell some cars.
Yep. But I was wrong. They sold 3,000 BRZs.
That's the thing. So they're selling 11,000 WRXs,
That's down from 20 in 2024.
20,000
Yeah.
BRZs. How many?
No, sorry. That's down from 20,000 WRXs.
Yeah. I know it's
Ish.
lower, but it's segment competitive. It's about where everybody. Miato's like 12. I look when I did the review the other day. It's like around there too.
Weird decisions. This will do well for not very much work, is my point.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. I'm excited. It needs more power. It needs to have 420.
It won't.
Okay. Next news story. Oh, Filippo,
wow.
this is your favorite
All right.
news story.
I would like to talk about some end of year results.
A
at
Chevy dealer
automakers.
in Florida.
Yeah.
with
Definitely in
the
Florida.
Kia dealer behind it, and I believe
Chrysler Jeep and Costco.
Ram.
Man.
And
This
Costco.
is-
My literal dream.
Okay, so what you want to talk about year-end sales.
so
I want
it's
to talk
January.
about them too.
It's January. I'm going to lead with some fun facts.
Okay.
Overall, new car sales were up 2% last year.
Yeah.
Which really was different than any of us expected.
Yeah, I agree.
Very.
Dodge sales down 28%.
Well,
Yeah,
they killed off
They
the
didn't,
car
they
we
didn't
all
sell
loved.
cars. Here's a fun fact for you, though. What do you think sold more? Charger Daytona EVs
Yeah.
or Alfa Romeos?
You have this in here as a gotcha, but I would assume the Charger is
Yeah, I would
Alfa still
assume.
selling cars.
Alfa still sells 2 cars.
the Tonale,
The Giulia and the Tonale.
yeah, they're bad though.
Yeah, the fact that Charger or Dodge with their EV that nobody likes.
Yeah, but remember, at one
sold
point-
more than Alfa.
At one point, they got the lease deals down to like $83
That
a month, and they would come and shine your shoes.
That helped. The shining the shoes.
That was
especially.
valuable. That was a real value.
real
add.
value
cherry on
add.
top.
It is.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Nevertheless, they sold more of those. WRX sales are under 11,000 last year.
Yeah.
And then here's 2 fun facts for you.
Yeah.
EV sales down.
Yep.
Especially after the EV incentive ended. In December, EVs were 6.6% of new car sales, 11.2% last December.
So that's a big
Massive
deal
down.
because that implies EV sales are down almost 50%.
Which
From 11.2 to 6.6. We don't have a full year because the incentive only went away October 1st. But just comparing December to December, which is an apples to apples comparison, 11% to 6.5.
But hybrid sales up really, really noticeable.
Well, I want to question that.
With
What's a
some
hybrid?
caveats.
My E-Station wagon's
Not
a
a
hybrid.
hybrid.
What do you mean?
Needs to be propelled. It needs to have some amount of electrical.
Okay, well then my Sequoia is a hybrid. I'm getting 12 miles per
Yes,
gallon.
your Sequoia is a hybrid. And 50% of Toyota sales last year were hybrids.
Hell yeah.
And the Sequoia certainly counts. Also, every new Camry is a hybrid. Next year will be more because every new RAV4 is a
Every
hybrid.
Sienna. There's a
Yeah.
ton more now. The CRV,
Yeah.
the Tucson. Everybody's getting hybrids.
But hybrid sales also really up at Honda. One thing that was interesting looking across each of the automakers, like end of year earnings, a lot of them pointed out that the lower trims of their vehicles are the ones that had the most sales growth. So Ford was the most explicit about it, but they're going to start building more lower trim Mavericks. The Escape's gone, but Bronco Sports, Broncos, because that's what's selling. In a way that before it was like Toyota was selling all the TRD Pros in the world.
Yeah.
Ford was selling the Sasquatch Broncos. But now, as those vehicles have matured and as
They've got more
consumer sentiment has
expensive.
gotten a little weaker,
Yep.
you're buying the
You're buying the less
Ford lower
So
trim
it's
Maverick.
interesting because the implication here is that auto industry is actually relatively healthy. Sales were actually up, which was a surprise. However, it seems to be maybe lower trim cars, which is
Yep.
proven by that list we saw. You and me
Yeah.
looked at the other day of cars that had the longest days on the lot, a day supply, and it was a lot of high end stuff.
Yep.
It was the Lexus LX Overtrail, God's car.
Yep.
But it was also all the hybrid 4Runners and
Yeah.
Tacomas. Surprising, actually, but that's the
It's
top end
interesting.
trim.
Overall, new car prices were not notably higher in 2025 than 2024. But I do, like actual sale prices, I do think that was partially driven by a change in mix to the lower trim levels that offset some actual price increases.
Instead of the promised recession, people are still buying, but they're just reining it in a little bit.
Yep. And by the way, they're also selling a lot of trucks. No surprise.
What's going to happen to the Kia Telluride?
It's going to do well. Kia sales were up something like 6% year over year last year, maybe a little more than that.
So it outpaced the market. So it gained share.
Market. Sure did.
Wow.
There you go.
Kia and Hyundai were by far the most successful.
They're great cars.
Really. Boom. Another big year of Kia Hyundai. Meanwhile, Volkswagen's still trying to figure out what to do about an electric van.
Volkswagen not.
This isn't a news story we have in here because it happened weeks ago, but we haven't covered it. That they did confirm that they're taking a model year off on ID Buzz. People have been saying it's canceled. It's not canceled. They're going to take the year off because they have a lot of stock, and I bet you they'll come back
They'll
27.
refresh.
But whenever someone does this, whenever an automaker does this, they always come back with a different product.
Yep.
And I bet you there's going to be some changes. Either they're going to give it more powertrain and more range, like a lot of people have been asking for, or they're going to give a short wheelbase or drop the price, or maybe, just maybe, they'll put a cup holder in the second row.
Don't get your hopes up.
God willing. I will say, just to get the numbers correct, Kia sales up 7% year over year, Hyundai up 8%, Toyota also strong year, up 8%, Ford up 4%.
Yeah. Now, part of
Dodge
it, I
down.
wonder, Toyota had a lot of new products last year.
It was expected.
Yeah.
Hyundai, Kia, not really true for them. They have a lot of new products at the very end of the year. I think 2026 will be a big year for them.
Well, the Palisade was new throughout the whole year.
Partway through the
But
year.
I'll tell you, that wasn't propelled by Ioniq 9 sales.
No.
Okay, move on to the next thing.
Yes, the Arizona Autobahn. So currently there's legislation
You heard
that's
about
been proposed in Arizona that will return the speed limit in like rural areas, which is like 50,000 people or less in like towns in these areas, to reasonable imprudent, which means there is no speed limit. Now, there are going to be larger alleged de-restricted parts of highway. But the thing is, this is a proposal. This is something they want to test. There's a pretty good chance this legislation gets killed anyway. But what I found that was interesting about this is like with the de-restricted like spots, they're saying it's going to be de-restricted during the day and 80 miles an hour at night, which I
what Montana
accept.
did.
And like there are pretty large stretches of Arizona you just want to get through. There ain't nothing there. You are not going to hit anything.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, you know this better than anybody, but imagine you being able to rip on like an Autobahn in a German car.
You
kind of
get
thing.
excited. Remember, in Montana, that's what happened. That's what killed it.
Right. So yes. So
Reasonable and prudent, is that the rule?
reasonable and prudent. Yes. Now, if this were, they're going to do a test. They want to propose. They propose that they're going to do a test on Interstate 8 between Casa Grande and Yuma for a year.
Oh.
Is the proposed?
That's not the section I do.
Yes,
I
it
know.
is.
I know if I'm going to my in-laws, we leave the 8 in Yuma, which makes sense. We don't really drive through.
That's the
Arizona
thing.
8.
You're complaining about this, but
But
you don't
I
do it.
would go through Phoenix instead.
I drive the full way through Arizona.
I would go through Phoenix
twice
to
every
17.
single year.
I would do that.
Well,
for that.
if this works, they said they would expand it to large sections of the Interstate 10, 17, 19, and 40, as well as a pretty large section of the 15.
I want them to do it just for the 2-lane roads, the 95
That's
from
so
Yuma
dangerous.
to Quartzsite.
They're never gonna do that.
And then all the roads from Quartzsite
never
to
gonna do
Prescott. That'd be great.
This is interesting. It's interesting. I have a strong suspicion we'll pass. You know, it's funny because Arizona is actually one of the most heavy enforcement states
Yes.
about speed laws. You know, Arizona is a pretty conservative state. And those states really empower the police. And it's incredible when you drive through Arizona. I mean, I'm just scared. Especially as a Californian, you put your cruise control on a little over the speed limit, and if you go over 90 in Arizona, it's like a felony. It's so insane. The laws are just so draconian about speed. It's laughable that they, of all places, would come up with this.
Right. Well, they're citing other states. So right now there are 9 states that have speed limits over 80. They're also looking at Montana, which has said that even with higher speed limits, they have not seen significantly higher crash rates. Now, that does not apply to the national average, which has seen an increase in death rates from traffic accidents since 2019. So I don't really know exactly how this would pan out. I would be interested, of course, if they test this. I think it's fascinating especially for you, and
I would change my route.
I will say this as someone who actually drives on the roads in
I drive
discussion.
on a lot of state roads.
The state roads, it'll never happen. It'll only be on the interstates. I promise
Also,
you.
some
There will
of them
never be a 2-lane road
Effectively
ever.
unrestricted. Turns out when you have visibility for miles in every direction.
Well, that's the other thing. Rural Northeast Nevada, those are de-restricted. There aren't police. So like,
Yep.
but
We do not advise doing anything.
one of the things that I've learned though,
Thanks,
driving through the middle of nowhere, which I spent an enormous amount of time in my life doing this. no one's in the middle of nowhere with a Ferrari ready to go 150.
Nope.
Like you could make the speed limit whatever. Nobody cares. They're going to go what they feel comfortable. And I was thinking about this with my driving cross country with my dog and all my stuff. Would I speed it up? Not really. No. I would probably still go whatever I go, which is probably 80, 85. I don't know.
Wow. You'd feel comfortable maybe overtaking someone at 100 or whatever. But I think also, I mean, at least from my experience on the German Autobahn this summer, you kind of get it out of your system, and then when you have to drop the speed back down, you're fine with it. It's it's fine. But you like to cruise at 130 kilometers an hour, which is about 80.
In Germany, you have these Autobahns between cities. People actually are trying to get between.
Right.
But in the States, if you're driving on I-40 there between northern Arizona off through New Mexico, Albuquerque, there's not people who are doing that drive. It's all big trucks and people on long road trips. And no one's sitting there trying to, so this is a cool idea and I think it's neat and it would be fun as a car enthusiast, but they'll still cite people for going really fast.
Yep.
And it's the people who are going to use it already are probably doing this.
Yep.
Right.
They're going as reasonable and prudent as they feel is reasonable and prudent.
I don't disagree with that. Nonetheless, an interesting case. We'll see if it gets to, if they pass this, if they test this, and we'll just see what happens. But I would love to see the circle with the slashes in it. Would be cool.
Oh, well, when Montana did it, there were two signs. One said speed limit, day speed limit, reasonable and prudent, night speed limit, whatever it was.
Reasonable and prudent is a long set of words to put on a speed limit.
Yeah. Well, so is speed limit. Yeah. It all works. But remember how it ended in Montana is someone got cited in a Camaro going 100. And he argued that was reasonable and prudent. And he took it all the way to the state Supreme Court. And eventually it was decided this is silly to have to litigate this. Let's just make a darn speed limit.
Don't disagree.
Anyway, regardless, it may not pass.
It's very likely it won't pass, but nonetheless pretty cool. And
interesting people are talking about it.
One can
agreed. We got any more news?
No, okay. That's the end of the news.
The news took up everything, but we haven't been on the pod for weeks.
I know, it's been weeks.
Missed you too, Filippo.
So we had a lot of news. Forgive us. We can move on to the Talk Cars segment now, and there are several very important Talk Cars things. But I'm going to start with announcing, first and foremost, right here on the podcast, that I am back on cars.
Woo! All right. That's great. Fantastic.
For the last 3 years, I've been saying I'm off cars and I don't want any more cars and I'm not getting any more cars. And finally, last fall, I started to crack about the 993 Turbo and I bought that. And now I'm full-fledged.
Yep.
I'm ready to buy a lot of stuff. Let's get it going.
Well,
addiction is a real problem. If you suffer from this.
I want an Overtrail LX 700H. Okay, I'm ready to do that now. Me and Filippo and Sean have been talking to there's only 3 CPO LX 700H Overtrails in the country for sale. We've been talking to one of the dealers, which is Woodfield Lexus in the Chicago
Are you
suburbs.
hoping that this helps you get
Folks,
the car?
if you work at Woodfield Lexus, the asking price on the one they want, they have is 112.
Yeah.
We're firm at 93. I don't think this is a bridge that can't be bridged, a gap that can't be bridged.
Well said. You must be a writer.
Anyway, I want an LX 700H Overtrail, and I'm ready.
Triple lockers.
Triple lockers.
Say it. Say the line.
I told Filippo over the weekend, my sports cars have 3 pedals, and my SUVs have 3 lockers.
That is
it's time. Sequoia's gone. I've already made it. I've already made it all happen. By the way, if someone wants my Sequoia, please. It's great. It's got a bad Carfax, scratched wheels. The running boards are off it, and the windshield is cracked.
It's a clean title, though.
Yeah. In addition to that, I got Rami. You know Rami.
Inbound Motorsports on Cars and Bits.
Inbound Motorsports. Rami, the greatest person of all time. I have him looking for an E55 station wagon for me out of Europe or Japan. We're not sure where it comes.
W210.
210. So 2000, 2001, 2000, 2001. That's what we want. That's what we're getting. Need a third row. Ready to do that.
If you have one, if you're a listener in Germany or Japan, more likely.
If you're in Japan listening to the pod, I'm back on cars. I'm ready to buy.
I'm so glad.
Let's do it.
I've missed on cars, Doug.
I forgot how manic he is though. When he's off cars, it's all theoretical. But now he's like, I want it now. Get it to me now. I want it now. And he throws a lot of proposals about cars that he wants.
And that is the other thing I want to talk about. There's one other car that's really tickled my fancy.
Really?
Over the holidays.
What could that be?
And I'm not going to buy it, but I want it. And it's the Di Tommaso P72. You know this car?
P70, yeah,
you know the
of
one I'm
course,
talking about?
yeah.
Okay, so there's all these upstart supercar companies, and I don't want any piece of any of them, okay?
Yeah.
Like Zinger, we did the review, it was cool, but I'm not buying one of those. This is interesting to me.
Yep.
This car is appealing to me.
Yep.
The company is in like Singapore or something. The car is built in Germany. The engine is a Coyote V8, just like the old Di Tommasos, all used American V8s.
351 Clevelands.
Yeah, the Mangustas and the Panteras. So it's so beautiful.
It is
gorgeous.
achingly pretty.
It's a 3-pedal manual.
Yep. Gated 6-speed, I think. Yeah.
Now they want two and a half, and they claim they're all sold out. So it's a pipe dream. But I'm looking at this thinking, because I said a couple of weeks on the pod, there are no new cars that I put on my list that I'm interested in. This has some appeal to me. It is so beautiful.
The interior is wild.
The interior is cool. The exterior is cool.
The other thing is, so they do a track-only version with a V12. And I would love it if they would bring a V12 that looked like that.
I want the reliable one. I want a Coyote V8. Like, how cool is this? Look at that. Like, this is a beautiful car with a beautiful interior. There is a configurator up on their website, which stole about a half hour from me. Even though it's all sold out. You telling me you don't want one of these?
No,
Filippo?
100%.
No, it's quite pretty, quite special.
So like Como? Yeah, it is.
Of all of the BS
agreed.
that's out there, and there's a lot of
Boy, is
BS
there.
upstart supercar manufacturers, and I'm not going to say Rimac, but people have said it.
That's an odd one to choose, but okay.
This is not BS.
No.
This is beautiful, manual, cool.
Picture on Lake Como. We're doing well.
If I could get one for half price.
Oh, sure. At the right price, yeah.
Firm at $1 million.
Well, you gotta wonder, are they really sold out? Are they really selling them at 2.5? Have you ever seen one? No. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta wonder, what's really the story?
Pagani, which is an established manufacturer, continues to produce the Zonda after all this time. So I'll bet if you gave them enough money, they'd make another one for you.
But I don't want to give them enough money. I want to give them half. It's a
harder.
different thing. People go to Horatio and they say, hey, I want to give you $10 million to make me a new Zonda. Hey, I want to go to these guys and say, hey, I'll give you half the money to make me another one. I don't know if that's going to be met well.
It's a shrewd negotiation.
You can't tell me this isn't cool.
No, I agree.
This is the only new car I'm interested in.
So cool.
Except for the LX 700 H Turbo.
Yeah, which I already said. No, but in terms of sports cars, I haven't been interested in a sports car since the Carrera GT went out of production. Until this.
What are the doors?
Cool. They're cool doors, dude.
Cool doors.
I don't know the answer to that.
Man, it is such a cool car. I can't believe this appeals to you.
It's
I mean,
got
it's
so much
so
Ferrari
pretty.
P4 in it.
Well, obviously,
And
yeah.
on the configurator, you can configure it to look like a P4. Look at that. Look how mean that looks.
Yeah.
That's a modern car. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I can't believe
That is so cool.
is
And all these things out there with all these Zivers and Zavers and Zenvos.
Zenvo.
That's what I want.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's great. Thanks for that useful piece of consumer advice.
I'm back on cars.
Love a $2 million car for $1 million. Wouldn't we all? Can't afford not to buy it, as you like to say.
If you're Di Tommaso and you either want Doug to review it and or offer you half price for it, you know where to reach us.
What do you think the secondary market is like? Okay, so they made 72, but did they make 72? We don't know, right? And because there's an Inquirer section on their website, but it also says it's sold out. Well, I want to inquire.
Can't believe Germans are building a car that looks this beautiful.
Germans
Well,
are
they didn't
building
design it.
this. Germans are building this.
So that means it will have one catastrophic engine flaw despite being
it's a Coyote. It's a Coyote, dude. It's going to be awesome. So what does the secondary market look like? Does anyone know this car exists? I don't know. If there's an owner, I bet you that most of these sold to people who are in questionable legal situations. I'm ready. I'll get you out of your Di Tommaso. I'll give you 1-2 today.
Right
Get you
before
out.
the feds impound it. Do it now.
Don't you agree with me that that's probably...
No comment.
Highly accurate. Highly accurate. Very cool. Love that car.
I want this car.
All right.
Can I get one?
Hey, if you got the money.
I don't.
And you can inquire.
I don't have the money.
If you are
I
Di
don't have the money and they're sold out.
I do wonder whether Di Tommaso has any in the U.S. Are they...
If they
Show
did, they would
display.
be show or display only.
If somebody's got one here, let
I'd like to be showed or perhaps displayed one of these cars.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Shifter. Yeah.
This is
Wow.
beautiful. This is like the Porsche people with their stitching. This is actually beautiful.
Yep.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Incredibly.
is like truthfully cool.
Yep. Incredibly.
Filippo doesn't like this car.
I think it's beautiful.
Okay, Kennan, tell us about the SL65. And I have a
Yes.
comment to make about this.
So it recently came back from its first service with me, and as per the usual, I overspent on it. I had originally intended to spend about $2,000 on it and spent $4,100 on
Ooh.
it, which I detail in a video on my own channel very soon. I go into everything that was done with
He
it.
told me, he said, $2,000. I said, okay, what does that mean? He was like, $2,000. He got mad at me. I was like, $2,000 is what it means.
yeah, it was 4. But it was also, I dealt with a bunch of silly stuff, and I talk about in the video that the thing we found is that it is leaking some coolant and some oil. So I'm kind of monitoring that to see exactly like
It
what
could have been a
needs
leak
to be done.
a while ago.
Well, one of the things we replaced was the coolant expansion tank, which was cracked, and guess what's in that coolant? So we're keeping an eye on like what exactly is going on with the car, but it's like it doesn't help that I've been like on a Viper Focus, and the car just cost me $4,100, and it's like I think it's gonna need more service, and so like.
You ready for a Viper? We got a nice third on the site.
I want a Gen 1 or a 1.5, but I don't know. I'm in two minds because the other thing is I then drove the car to my friend Ryan Larissa's house, like on the highway, not de-restricted, but I still like exercise the engine a little bit, and my God, that is one of the great engines.
The
It
V12
really,
and that SL67.
In a way, it's
One of the
kind
great
of a luxury
powertrains.
Viper.
Yeah.
It is. You know, everybody calls it a German Viper. I guess it's a luxury Viper, but like, it's not as unruly as the Viper is. Like, you know,
That's why it's a luxury Viper.
Right.
Right. Well, yes, but I think that means that it's nicer put together. It doesn't actually share that much in common with the Viper. It might, you know.
Big power.
The whole point of the Viper is that the big power they both share. Again, they're both rear-wheel drive, but the Viper is like just raw, and this is just not. There's nothing
The
raw
opposite
about
raw,
it.
Yeah.
Have you thought about a yellow red?
A yellow red? You mean a red yellow?
Parked over there.
Some would say the car is more red than yellow, but yes, I have thought about that. I like that car a lot, the ketchup and mustard. So I don't know what I want to do. I'm still not sure. I love drive. I just love that engine, but you only get to experience that on the highway and around town. It's kind of pedestrian.
Or light to light, man.
Especially
Not going to burn out at every light.
Especially-
But you can't
when-
use first gear. It just it won't put the power down.
especially when you're dropping $4,000 to get it serviced.
Yeah, it's like that's a lot, and I did like a lot of the little things that needed. It did get lower control arms, for instance, and I go into a lot more detail about this in
Does
my
it
video.
drive better?
It does. I got an alignment done on it and balanced the wheels, and we also did. You can adjust the wheel bearings, which is odd, but it drives so like arrow straight now and so smooth, and it's just effortless. Everything in that car is effortless.
But
the way it
4,100 into a Viper gets you a motor, a top end rebuild.
Yeah, done.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I still don't know.
Find it on Cars and Bids within the next month.
Yeah, you gonna sell it? You're gonna sell it.
I mean, I committed to selling it at some point. I'm not keeping this car forever. That was never my intention.
But last time we were on the pod, at some point you'd said August, then I had like got you down to like March or something. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, somewhere
When
in that
did you
range.
buy it? October?
I bought it in early October, yes.
Wow. So it could be a 6-month thing.
Yeah, which is fine. Like the
Yeah.
goal with this was to cycle through cars and get a varied number of experiences.
Yeah.
I support it.
But I don't know. I love the engine, but I just wish it were more special around town.
Your other story on this Talk Cars is that you spent merely $1,300 on the M5.
Yes, I made a goal last year that I was not going to spend more than I said $2,000 initially, and I think I stretched it to $2,500. But I still didn't spend more than $1,348 is all I spent on the M5.
But wait, don't you feel that spending the $4,100 on the other car kind of negates the success at spending the $1,300 on the M5?
It was never a part of the initial.
But I mean, okay, yeah, you didn't spend more on your M5. Instead, you bought an E60 M5, put a motor in it, $35,000. Hey, but guess what?
Well, yes, but if you have a second car, you have to do maintenance on it. That's just life. Like that's how it goes.
Well, so this is like an end run around your little goalie goal here, isn't it?
Well, it was I said on the M5.
What
the goal was to get the M5. This is the story. The goal was to get the M5 to be reliable, and it was really solid all year.
I think that the whole point of the goal was to get away from your compulsive overspending on cars. And what ended up happening was you spent $4,100 on this SL65.
I don't think I overspent. It was stuff that it needed. I don't think it was overspending.
I agree with Kennan.
You're giving him this?
I mean, when
We have
you
to
spend
maintain a
$50,000
car.
on Countach maintenance, that doesn't impact your understanding of the Courage GT's
No,
reliability.
but the spirit of the law. You don't follow the letter of the law like you always do. The
Why would
spirit
I
of the
do- why
law
would I
was
start now?
we're trying to see if Kennan cannot spend a lot on cars.
Write a better law.
Well, I like cars to be well maintained. Like I like it to work.
All right, do we have a new resolution for 26 on anything?
I think I'm going to maintain the resolution on the M5 and not spend $2,000 again to prove to you year back to back that car is reliable once it's sorted. And I think that's going to happen again. I don't really like. It needs to go in for an oil change.
Okay, what about the SL65? You gonna sell it?
It's going to be gone this year for sure.
Can you put a 26 goal to get a Viper?
I have been thinking about that.
Are you ready to commit?
I think.
Are you ready to commit?
In the calendar year, yes, I think I can commit to getting a Gen 1 Viper.
I think I can commit. That was a Filippo style commitment.
That was sure. I'll say fine. I will not be like Filippo. I will be like Filippo, and I will buy a car. I will commit to getting a Viper in this calendar year 2026.
Wow, you heard it here first. He's going to drive a manual V10, only the finest.
You made a point to me that like the fun car should be manual, and it's like although my daily is manual, it's like
I've really started to lean into this more, and people get mad at you like you always say manual everything. You don't need your whole personality to be manual. For me, at least, like the rare amount of time that I get driving a fun car when I'm not, with my family or committed to work or doing this or that or traveling, the rare amount of time where once a month where I really get into a car, I don't want it to be a point and shoot. I want to drive the car. And hopefully that's your case.
There's something for,
manual V10, dude. Me, the Courier GT, you and the Viper, and anyone who's done a manual swap on an Econoline.
Ooh. Oh. Is that something anybody has done?
We'll find out. Write to us at Sean@carsandbids.com. That's SEAN at carsandbids.com. Filippo, you got any cars
I've got
aside from the
997? I want to talk about.
Okay.
Aside from the gorgeous 997.
Yeah.
Dot two, as we say in the community. All right. On the 25th of this month, excuse me, on the 23rd, or Friday the 23rd, I and some other people from Cars and Bids are going to be in Scottsdale for the Avant pit stop during Arizona Car Week. Learn more about the event on our events page, and then come say hi.
Will there be a 190e Evo 2 there?
God willing. Relatedly,
where is this?
It's in Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa, Arizona, the warehouse.
During Arizona Car Week, there's a bunch of events. There's a bunch of in-person auctions, a bunch of great car events around Scottsdale and Phoenix. We'll be there.
So if you live in Arizona,
or if you live in California, you want to come say hi.
Okay, but what about people in New Mexico? You're not.
New Mexico's kind of far. Are you aware of how far Phoenix is from New Mexico?
Well, a lot of California is about that far too. So this is over in the warehouse in Mesa. If you live in Mesa, you know where this is. It's right off of the 87.
The warehouse looks cool.
Next to the it's like a shipyard going on there.
The warehouse looks incredibly cool. So I'm really excited for the event. And then after that, I'm going to go pick up the 1972, 1973 F250.
Down the street from the warehouse, there's a Mickey's Hot Dogs, and Filippo will buy you a hot dog.
I will.
If you come to this event. Filippo will buy you a hot dog.
I feel like I need more than just... there'll be food there, I believe. I don't know. I don't feel the need to personally buy you a hot dog.
Filippo will personally buy... Whoever shows up with the coolest car,
yes, I will
Filippo will
you
walk
a hot
with
dog.
you down Broadway there in Mesa, Arizona, to the Mickey's Hot Dogs, and he will buy... It's open till 11 p.m.,
Perfect.
and he will buy you a hot dog.
That is my commitment to
Whatever you want on it. He'll get you toppings. He'll even put them on for you. If you want that relish crap that people sometimes put on hot dogs, he'll do it.
I endorse this message.
Okay, you're taking the truck back.
And then I will have to go pick up the truck from Northern Arizona and drive it home.
Filippo's got some 60s truck he's trying to...
It's a 1973. It's built in 1972, based on a bunch of
73 model year.
73 model year. It doesn't say that anywhere, but
what's the title say?
73. So it does say that somewhere. Have the title. I'm going to go. I'm trying to figure out how to best get it home. I'm cheap, and so I don't want to pay a transporter to do it.
I want to do it myself. All right,
I want to do it myself. I want to do it myself.
He's not going to tell you the truth here, but last night he comes over. He's like, I think I'm going to bring this truck back by myself. He goes, I can't believe it, but I've been getting shipping quotes for $1,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, what's the alternative? He goes, well, U-Haul is I can rent a U-Haul for $300.
Yep.
I said, well, wait a minute. U-Haul you $300, and then fuel hauling a hulking old truck is going to be another $200.
Yeah.
So you're $500.
That's savings.
Meanwhile, you're towing using a box truck with a trailer through Arizona and California, pulling an old pickup to save $500.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's going to take you 2 days to do it.
It won't take me. Oh,
well, the day up and the day back.
I was going to go visit my in-laws anyway, so I got to be up there.
It'll take you a full day to bring this truck back.
Also, it's California highway, 55 miles an hour.
So I don't know what you value a day of your time at, but let's call it, because it's you, let's call it $125. All right?
And then, there you go.
So
that's the math that plays out.
You're doing this to save like $350. You could just call a guy.
That's 3 days of my time. And so the math works out in my favor.
I think...
I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. I think it'll be a
You're
nice
looking forward to driving a large, empty U-Haul box truck.
Well, no. I also need to bring home a china cabinet from my mother-in-law's house.
You're kidding.
You all have in-laws, you know.
So you have
married.
to put. Wait a second. Is it just the cabinet?
Yeah. The cabinet won't fit in our station wagon, though, barely.
But
You realize how hard that is to strap down one
You
thing.
think- into an open-
You think I don't know how to strap things?
Yeah, I
You're
don't.
wrong. You're wrong. I actually do.
dude,
Move.
this is going to be a disaster. Can we be there when you arrive?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Although I got to figure out where to bring the truck to get worked on because it's very hard to find a shop that'll work on an old
Do you
car.
think it's gonna be like Top Gear where he like opens it and the china cabinet has just fallen
Sean's
out?
upset. Sean's upset. And if you want to know why he's upset, send us an email at Sean, S-E-A.
I will throw out there just to use our platform. If you're an automaker that wants to prove the towing capacity of your vehicle, and you want to just
You want me to get a
lend
press
me
car
one.
for you? What do I have? When are you doing this?
Weekend of the 23rd.
The weekend of the 23rd. I have
to tow at least like 5,000.
I have the Temerario. Are you interested?
Can that tow 5? It's got the torque to do it.
Got a lot of power.
But you know, if you're somebody that wants to prove that you have a real truck or a real SUV,
You know, this is actually an opportunity for General Motors because he gets a Ford, right? So,
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
that Ford doesn't run, but the 2500 Duramax runs.
that's
all right.
brilliant. All right,
Folks,
Jim.
if you run PR for General Motors,
this is your opportunity.
if Mary Barra is watching this,
Oh, man.
this is your chance to prove to the world. Filippo will make a video. It'll get 7,000 views.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, we got to move on to the market report. Remember, Mickey's Hot Dogs.
Yeah.
On
If you have
Broadway.
the coolest car at the Avant pit stop.
You got to have the coolest car, and I'm going to be the judge of that. So Filippo's going to send me
Send you
pictures.
photos all night.
Okay, we got to move on to the market report, which of course is brought to you by Filippo's Wheels, and I'll give you the market report on those. They're worthless.
Do you have any idea how much BBS LMs are worth?
I know. I want to talk. Let's only do the LX because we got to move on to comments because the LX is so good.
Okay, so earlier this week we sold a Lexus LX 470.
Did you watch this auction at all, Kennan?
a 100
Dude, you
truck.
should have because the comments were
It was
off the
wild.
rails.
Okay, so here the truck is insane. Here's a truck that shows 593 miles on the odometer.
Okay, 593 miles on a Land Cruiser.
583, excuse me.
On a Land Cruiser.
is unheard of.
So this is you know you're gonna get like everything.
It's reportedly what the sellers it sold for $67,000, which is a lot of money, but less than you expect the 600-mile 100.
And there's a reason for that.
So it has a non-actual mileage title in Arizona,
Which
by
begins
all
the
accounts,
problems.
here's my understanding after doing a bunch of research on this. Toyota used to sometimes give trucks right off the production line to like trade schools and like instructional facilities where people learn to work on those trucks.
Already, I have a tough time believing it. That is what the seller claimed.
Yeah, and there is evidence that Toyota has historically done this.
This is a $70,000 vehicle that they just gave to a trade school.
Right. Nothing better to learn to repair a vehicle on a brand new one that has no issues.
It's what they used to do.
You want to learn how to do an oil change?
Legitimately,
Too bad we never got to oil change.
Too bad,
pilot.
not broken in yet.
legitimately, that is something that Toyota truly and Lexus truly did. But there's a not actual mileage title.
That's problem number 2.
It was first titled in 2024, and also it's been repainted and the interior has been reupholstered.
So, okay, and that's problem number 3.
But-
so we don't know the mileage, and the typical giveaways of mileage, the exterior condition, the interior condition, have all been replaced.
But everything else really does prove out that it is everything
Correct.
engine bay underbody
So-
related proves out that it is indeed a really low
If you
mileage.
look,
vehicle.
it's
look at that
unbelievable.
underbody.
It's
insane.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Cleanest 100 series in the world.
Now, the seller didn't have the documentation, either conveniently or he just.
I
didn't.
don't think there's anything malicious happening. I think they just.
But he didn't have the documentation, and he said that some tow truck driver put the mileage wrong, and that's
Yeah.
how it got an NAM title. I don't understand that. The tow truck driver, was he the one titling it? It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Clearly, the car has super low miles.
Yeah.
The market, I think, would have valued it at 100 with documentation.
Yeah.
With not documentation, the market valued it at 67. I don't know what the actual mileage is, and a
it
NAM
is
title
clearly
hurts.
low. I suspect that the mileage shown on the odometer is correct.
I have a suspicion it might be also. However, it also may have sat outside in the sun for 20 years.
It did, and that's why he repainted it.
Correct. That's what he
And
said.
the interior apparently had some tears in the leather, and
Which makes sense also if it sat outside in the sun for 20 years.
it is a weird automobile. $67,000 seems like a lot of money for that, but at the same time, if you want the single cleanest LX,
Yeah.
or you want to pull the chassis off of it, or you want to pull the motor out of it,
It's a little bit of a dice roll because none of this stuff was verified or could be verified.
Yeah.
what do you think happens? Do you think it
I think you
gets
drive.
exported?
I think if you wanted a new 100 series and you want to drive with a Lexus Land Cruiser,
look at the engine bay photos. It is wild. That is not somebody cleaning an engine bay photo. That's an engine bay that's
clearly a car had super low miles.
Wild.
Or maybe the mechanic, the trade school just replaced the whole thing yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Very possible.
The underbody is insane too.
The underbody's insane. I mean, it just is. There's no question.
But
however, the Lemon Squad
wild.
report noted that some underbody looked like it had been painted. So there's all these I'm not sure about, and that's a little bit of a dice roll. Now, if you're a 100 Series fan, and I am, I think it's the greatest Land Cruiser of all time.
Yep.
A low mileage 0607 is already selling for this.
Yeah.
A 20,000 mile 0607 is already a 67. So this number is actually pretty reasonable. And frankly, I think it's worth the dice roll. You don't have documentation of the mileage. You don't have documentation of the history, but hell. I mean, just go at it. Right. This one was bid to 78 with 7,000 miles. This one, 18,000 miles.
Remember when
06 sold for 63.
Remember when in 2021 we thought that that result for that 2006 65 was a record-breaking result at the time. And now this is a $100,000 car. And it's an 03. And there's a really important distinction. 06,
This is. But the one we sold is an 03. And it's a really important distinction because everybody wants 06, 07s. So anyway, it's a very unusual auction, crazy thing. I think the number was completely correct for the car.
Yeah,
I think it would have been 100 with more documentation. I think it could be 40 if some stuff emerged that wasn't accurate. So I think this number is exactly right. I don't know what you do with it.
It's just an insane.
What would you do with it?
Sell it is what do you do with it? I really think it's a great case to just drive it.
I agree. If you're I've been trying to, LX Overtrail, Sequoia, but what I really want is an LX. Is an 06, a 100 series, because it's the best motor, the best era. If that's what you want,
here's a new
one.
Repainted,
67 won't get you a new Sequoia or but it will get you a new LX.
That's an interesting point.
A new old one.
Yeah. So that's my take on it anyway.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, imagine miling it up. Yeah, get to live like it's 2003 again.
If you loved your 100 series and you want a new one, there ain't a lot left.
Nope, that's true. Nor would you want to use a lot of them. This one is perfect.
This one has a non-extra mileage title, it's been painted, et cetera. Who knows?
It is a discount, incredibly low mile 100 series. But
right.
How weird.
It is a weird one, too, though, because it's this in the 100 series world, there's the 100.1, the 100.2, and the 100.3, okay? And this is the 0.2, which was great. It was a great car, but you want a 0.3. Yeah. And the 0.1 sometimes had rear lockers. You know the whole situation.
I do.
You prefer a Toyota. This is a bit of an off color. Everything about it is a little off.
You always prefer the Toyota.
Farah NSX, should we talk about that and then move on?
Yeah, we should.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, Matt Farah sold his 2005 NSX-T with us for $167,510. Yeah, serious money for one of these cars. But, I mean, great presentation, owned by him, low mileage, late production, manual. I mean, it had everything going for it. I love this picture in particular of him driving.
Yeah.
That's great.
He told me he was looking for a little bit more, but I think it was...
I don't know. I
makes no difference to the number that he gave me privately. I don't know if he's talked about it on his pod, but Nears makes no difference to the number that he gave me privately. It's right around there. And based on me, I then looked at some comps, and I think this was about where it should have been.
Yep,
honestly. You had some lower miles cars sell for a little more. You had some higher miles cars sell for a little less. This was kind of right in between.
The NSX market is surprisingly well defined.
Yeah.
Truly, there are comps around. And there was one that 15,000 miles that sold for just a tiny bit more. There's 23 that sold
especially defined the 02 to 05s because they were basically all identical except color. And color can be a real distinguisher. And obviously, this isn't one of the more desirable. You want the blue is what Kennan and I are looking for.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, we got to move on.
Or yellow, honestly.
Yeah, that car. Oh.
Maybe not the yellow seats.
Didn't I drive that one?
No.
I think I did.
I don't think you did.
I drove one.
You drove the one. You drove the next one then.
I want to move on to the questions, which are of course brought to you by Filippo's Wheels. I got some questions about Filippo's Wheels.
Don't we all?
And the questions, you can ask us questions, and you should, folks. Please, we need your questions. You go to carsandbids.com, you click on the community tab. There's a podcast questions thing. We make a post. It says, ask us questions. You post in it. It all works great.
It does. It's delightful.
And we got a bunch of good questions this week. I was able to go through weeks of questions because we haven't done this podcast in weeks and really get to some really good ones.
Okay.
Starting with the first question from Unbe. Doug, why did you do house reviews 5 or 6 years ago? Filippo, why did I do it?
They were so good.
They were good.
They were great.
They were great.
What happened to that?
We should go back. I would go to houses with you.
Let me tell you what happened. I realized that I wanted to do house reviews.
You did.
And I did
3 or 4.
And that was that.
And they performed well.
They did well.
They did great. They blew up. But what hit me was this. Here's what hit me. I realized that if I was going to do house reviews, the best way to do it would be like the cars where you have variation, where you do a Plymouth Voyager one week and a McLaren F1 the next week. And the only way to do variation is if you travel. Because unlike the cars, this is a key thing about houses, they don't move. They're in place.
Yep, you can sleep in a car, but you can't drive a house.
That's generally true. So it hit me that to do it right, you'd have to travel. And this came, the house reviews I started doing right at kind of the end of my desire to be on the road every day. However, audience, I'm giving this to you. If you want to have a big YouTube channel like Mr. Beast, go do house reviews, travel all over the world, review a crazy chalet in Switzerland, and then a wild desert thing in Palm Springs, and then a rainforest rain tree in Brazil. That is a $1 billion YouTube channel right there. Right there. I'm giving this to you. I'm letting you have this, audience. You don't even have to email Sean.
You may not be the first to that.
No,
idea,
dude, if you look,
but
there's not like I do them, like quirks and features, like this. Why is there a telephone here? Like, people should be doing this. What about you?
I should go. Let's go. I'll book a flight right now.
You could maybe get a Di Tommaso P72 if only you would.
In a few years.
Anyway, that's why I did it, and that's why I stopped. Okay, next question. Next question.
While Doug reads questions, I do want to throw out there, Kennan just did a review with a McLaren 12C Spider.
I did, yes. If you're typing my name, it should come up. Yes, there it is. Yes, so I just did a review with this. It was lovely. I was really surprised. I'd never driven an MP4 12C, and this thing drove just really well. It's a really impressive car. Having spent a lot of time in 458s and driven this, it was like, I can't believe these are worth half of what 458s are. Like, the driving experience is commensurate, and the build quality too.
Is purely based on brand and perception of reliability. It's those two things.
And that's the key thing.
Only.
Perception of reliability. These cars, so there is so much support for these things. The really early MP4 12Cs were hard to deal with. It was their first attempt at building a mass-produced car. The slightly later cars, like this one, they made a lot of improvements right away.
You know, you say that, but I was behind a Fisker Ocean the other day, and
well, they didn't make any improvements. but the owner of this car, he's also had it essentially since new. There was one guy who had it for like 6 months before him, and then he owned it the rest of the time, and he has all the service docs, and he said the car has been
incredible,
very, very solid.
Go watch the video.
But yeah, go watch the video. It was a lot of fun to make, and we'll see how it does.
The next question is from J Curry 3, and this question is for me, but I'm going to direct it to Kennan, who can answer us. Dear Doug, your car list is incomplete. How can it not include a Delta Integrale?
I agree.
First, there's a Countach, hopefully an F40. A Delta, you'd have the holy grail of 80s Italian cars. It's also quirky, 4 seats for the family. Kennan, tell him why.
Nowhere to work on it.
You want to find a guy? You want to work on this J Curry 3? You want to come to San Diego with some tools, and you want to go on Lancia Facebook pages to try to find parts and deal with Italians? Huh?
I'll help.
We have to deal with one every week.
You want to do it? You do it.
There are exotic car shops in San Diego, but a lot of them just don't work on that car. Like, there's just no one who specializes.
I think eventually, if I really cared, I could find one. I might have to go to LA, but I don't want to do that. And I don't love the car that deeply.
Exactly. The headache per value, like how much you love it, is just not worth it to you, I don't think, at this stage.
At this stage. I do love an Evo 2 Integrale, one of the coolest things in the world. You ever driven one?
No, I would love to, though.
It would change your life. You wouldn't be a Porsche guy after that. Oh, look at that wing. I'm telling you, this is one of the best. This is the best driving hot hatchback I've ever experienced in my life.
Wow.
It's so tight, so tossable. The power is perfect. The seats are insane.
You know, I wrote that listing.
I did, so I picked it.
Go to the seats.
Thank you.
Show us the seats. They're so bolstered. Let me tell you something. For 80s car seats, you can only get seats like this in an F40 and this.
It's so cool. I would...
Maybe the Yellowbird.
I dream of having one.
Those modded seats.
This would be like an ultimate car for me. It's up there.
Well,
okay. J Curry 3.
Hey, you paid maybe more for that than
J Curry 3. Why don't you come here and work on Filippo's? Why don't you come over, since you want us to get one
they're no
so
longer
bad.
50 grand, but...
Yeah, but you can get one for 100.
Yeah.
And you can get out of it for 100.
Yeah.
And you just hope it doesn't throw a rod. Because if it does, like, bye.
Yep.
You do an EV swap at that point.
Can I ask a question of my own?
Yep.
All right. While you were talking about the Integrale, that R8 popped up.
Yeah.
And is there a singularly more desirable R8 than this?
Oh, interesting.
V10
Overall.
Overall.
It's certainly the most desirable first-gen R8.
I know, but I kind of mean... Oh, so this is a first-gen V10 Plus stick coupe.
They only made, and it's a paint to sample.
And it's 14,000 miles.
They only made, like, a few dozen stick V10 pluses or something. It's an incredibly rare car.
So low. And it is a Gen 1.5.
It's a Gen 1. Because none of the Gen 2 cars had sticks.
Right, but then the Audi R8 people call it
Yes,
25.
although
Yeah,
most of that relates to the switch between the single clutch and the dual
Yeah,
clutch.
it's
And
not
so if
about-
you have a stick,
Yeah,
it's not like that huge of a deal. But the fact that it's a V10 Plus with a
I know.
stick is
It's wild.
insane.
And low miles and a special color. Like, has to be the most desirable R8.
Oh, yeah. I guess it is. I mean, a
guess
late
so.
R8 GT, but probably there are some special versions of the second gen that currently sell for more.
Yeah, but although it's already a 219,
Yeah.
are there?
Well, what is it? The R8 just went away, and the GT at the end was like a 280 car, I think, with us from the sticker. So
Yeah, I think that current V10 performances are
Yeah.
in the high 100s.
this is a cool car.
This, by the way, I think has room to go still, given
Yeah.
This, although it didn't exist, was a pretty desirable car.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Manual
someone
swapped
did swap.
R8 GT.
Yeah.
man.
But from the factory, I
How-
don't disagree.
what-
If there is any bone in your body that thinks that the R8 will someday increase in value, it's this car that will be leading it. This is the Diablo SE30, the downdraft Countach, the paint to sample Carrera GT of the R8 world. Like, it is this car specifically. If the R8 is ever going to go up, this car will be at the very top of every list of like cars to own.
101 color. I don't know how wild.
Okay, we got to move on to the next question from EJ20 head gasket. Actually, no, I'll do that one next. But from Michael EJ2, this is a question a bunch of people are asking. Hi, Doug. You mentioned in your Doug Awards video that GM gave you several options for concept cars to review. What were the other options, and why did you pick the Voyage? Okay, I chose the Voyage. When I reviewed the Voyage, GM Voyage concept car, Cadillac Voyage, they had sent me a list of heritage cars that were running that I could review. I specifically wanted to review a newer concept car because I think concept stuff from the 60s isn't quite as interesting. First off, a lot of it had to function, and they weren't even thinking in the way that like weird stuff. What are they in the 80s? They come up with all this bizarre crap that would be funny today, and I think the 60s stuff is less funny. I wanted something modern. They only offered me 3 modern cars, and the other one was one was a Cadillac that just wasn't that unusual, and the only other one was a Buick called the Buick Avista, Avista. Do I regret not doing it? Maybe.
Wow, that looks really nice.
Maybe the next time I go to Detroit, maybe I do the Avista.
There's an odd amount of like Tesla Model S like in this.
Yeah,
part
but
of
it's
the
from
car.
2008.
Yeah. So, wow, this is
Mirror
really
chassis,
cool.
400 horsepower.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a cool car. This is a shame.
Oh, 2016. I'm completely wrong. The Camaro chassis is older, but the car itself is a twin turbo V6. From the rear 3/4, it looked just like a Honda Genesis. Anyway, it didn't happen.
Nope.
I chose the Cadillac instead.
I think you made the right choice.
Now, a lot of people, I do think from a thumbnail perspective, the Cadillac pops more. With the covered wheel arches, it looks like
Good.
some weird future thing. This looks more like a rational car.
Beautiful car.
And you know what? It would have saved Buick.
Yeah.
The question most people were asking, though, was why didn't I review the Cien? And I'm going to answer this delicately because I was shared some information about the Cien that I'm not sure that it was intended to be public facing, but I'll say it delicately. The Cien isn't running.
Can I ask what the less delicate version of that is?
No, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get anybody in trouble at GM. But currently, the Cien is not running, and it's probably not going to be running for a while. And so I offered to buy it, and I was dead serious in my offer, and I still am. And I told them that when I went there, I reiterated my offer, and they chuckled, and I was like, no, you don't understand. I'll buy it. But they claim they're not interested, which is wild to me because it's not even running.
Right.
It's a 20-year-old non-running Cadillac. If this was a DeVille, it'd be $600 on Craigslist.
It's quite a category.
Free if you pick it up.
Anyway, the
Will you pick
Cien
it up
wasn't.
for?
So the Cien wasn't offered. And to be honest, I was actually a little surprised that Heritage Collection, a lot of the 60s, 70s stuff is running because back in that era, concept cars weren't as much of a thought exercise. They would do weird bodywork and stuff, but mostly it was a powertrain and a car that had to run. Later, concept cars became a lot less runny.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so I was surprised they even had the ones they offered me, but the Cien was not one of them. And there were very few modern ones, I think, that are really in good order, sadly. So that was the answer to that. Next question from Arsh18. Oh my God, do you want to hear the take that people hate from me the most?
Oh, I might agree with you based on the question.
Do you think the CVT is overhated? It's not the enthusiast choice, but they keep you in the power band, smooth acceleration, great efficiency. Yeah, I think the CVT is like one of the most underrated automotive
Agreed.
innovations in the world.
Fully agreed.
People hate how they sound, but you're always in the power band.
Yep.
You're just
always-
living in the power
You're
band.
at the most efficient spot always. Now, some CVTs are bad, but in a
Some
good
CVTs
CVT,
are unreliable.
some CVTs aren't that great at staying in the power band.
They just sit
But if
there.
they're not great at that, then that's their whole purpose.
Well, some manufacturers aren't that good at engineering. That's what it is.
I would be curious to drive if a real sports car manufacturer made one as like a concept.
It would make
to see.
performance
It would be
better.
very interesting.
It would probably be
V12
similar to
with
an
a
electric
CVT.
car.
Yeah,
Is
it
my
would just
guess. No gears and power band is kind of always achievable, and you can always just stick there. Is my guess.
You know
Yeah.
where I think CVTs have failed? They've failed because they've tried to replicate the automatic experience. They should have leaned in.
Well, they did that because
But they
people
should've
hated them so much.
leaned in.
The problem, really, in my mind, comes from Nissan, who made them the NVH was so bad.
Yeah.
That really killed it in everybody's minds.
But there's it is the pinnacle of efficiency, and we should support that.
It is, and it's the pinnacle performance.
Yep. It's the right balance of
It
performance.
keeps you in power band.
I like to.
You know
own
how
my
you?
own.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Compared to a manual, it's not for an enthusiast. But if you're thinking about automatic transmissions, dual clutch is great, but you're still going through gears. You still have to go down to the bottom of the rev range at some point and come back up.
No,
in a
that's more
CVT,
thrilling, to be
it's
fair.
more fun. But in a CVT, you just sit there. You sit there.
I know, but an electric car is more efficient in delivering power.
Yeah,
too,
yep,
and it's
of
like,
course,
it's
of course.
Yes, it is more efficient, but sometimes it's more about the experience than the efficiency.
Yeah. But I guess my point is just like,
I understand, but no, I understand your.
from an efficiency and a performance perspective, it's actually pretty good. So you think about cars that are efficient performance cars, they should have CVTs like the Honda Prelude.
Agreed.
Okay, last question for Filippo.
Yep.
From Stealth Model 3, depreciated Taycan versus depreciated Model S Plaid versus depreciated Lucid.
Buy all three for less than the price of one new.
Got to go Taycan though, right?
I do the Lucid.
Really?
I love Lucid Air.
It's not going to work. It's not fun.
There are some reliability concerns that people express.
But the Porsche will.
But
its
Lucid
service-
had a great year. Fun fact.
Well, they're selling the minivans now.
The Gravity, which is also Uber's like Waymo competitor, is based on a Lucid Gravity, which is 5,000 sales right there.
Did they punch them all? They punched them all at 1231.
You got to assume.
Wait, no,
I
but-
would do a Taycan or a Lucid. I wouldn't do a Model.
You would do a Lucid?
I think it's the most range by far. It's
Yeah.
the most spacious of the sedans.
It is the nicest.
It is just the nice.
But the Taycan is built better and drives better.
You know,
it depends on my
and it's more
purpose
fun.
is. Yeah.
you know, I'd rather have
Lucid's
all
got
of
more
them.
power.
Audi RS GT e-tron.
Yes.
Really? Than a
I,
Taycan?
yeah,
It
I
looks
think
better.
it's so pretty.
It's pretty, but the Porsche drives better.
It's the same.
You're a looks man,
How
I'm a
different
drive
can it
man.
be? How
But that's the
different-
difference between the two of us.
How
There's not much I can
different-
do about that.
How
Right.
different can it be?
That's what it is.
They're different. The Audi's softer. It's like the difference between a Prelude and an F1 car.
Wow.
But this would serve daily.
Or maybe a
duty.
Prelude and a
I have
Type R.
fun cars to drive. This would be a daily.
Well, if you want a daily,
ride
you're
to
not
pick.
buying any of these. You
buy
buy
a
you buy an
Lucid Air.
Afeela.
Right. Oh, how could I be so stupid? I
Because
forgot.
remember, it's autonomous, sound,
Right.
visual.
Right. The three great elements of any driving experience.
Autonomous, sound, visual.
Sound, visual.
Obviously.
Okay, should we do one more?
Last one.
One more.
Dear Doug, you make a from EJ20 Head Gasket. Dear Doug, you make a point about not traveling to review cars, but GM lured you out with the prospect of 2 hot production cars and, of course, the concept. This begs the question, which other concept or one-off cars would get you to travel on your own dime to review? I want to be clear about this GM thing. I was going there already, okay?
What are you trying to do? Like protect your reputation?
I don't say yes to things. I was
Who's
going
gonna write it now?
I was going to DC and I figured I might as well just stop in Detroit, and it was so worth it. And I filmed 3 videos in one day, which I never do.
What's the third?
ZR1.
Oh yeah.
And all 3 killed. Honestly, if you watch all 3 of those, you can't tell that I filmed 3 videos in one day. Only from the sun, the position of the sun, which sets early in Detroit this time of year. What do you think I'd go shoot? What would you go shoot?
You would definitely. The buy list is long. You would definitely go shoot the Pininfarina.
But I didn't. I was literally in Lake Como, and they were in wherever they are turning. I didn't
What
go.
were you
I
thinking?
was with my family.
What were you thinking?
They brought it out of the thing, too. They told me they wiped it down.
Wait, the Ital Design Columbus?
Yeah.
Is that-
That's what I meant. Yeah.
The Ital Design Columbus, they said that come on and do it. And I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Doug.
With my family, I would literally, there is no car on the planet. You could call me up and say there's a McLaren F1. You could spend the whole day with it. 2 minutes from where you are. And I would be like, I'm good.
You can choose. You can fit most of your family in it. That's okay.
If I'm on a family trip,
I get it.
is
But
in
you
this-
could've
it doesn't matter if the family trip is to Mesa, is to the Mickey's Hot Dogs in Mesa, Arizona. Family trip, car, anything.
You could've
They
fit-
don't overlap. There's one over another.
You could have fit the entire family and some other families in the Columbus, though.
What's
I don't know how many
yours?
seats
What's
there are.
yours?
Oh, there's so many.
Give me yours.
Mine?
What's the number one car you travel for? McLaren F1?
Of course.
Really, that's it?
Probably. I mean, 250 GTO is on that list too. After watching Harry's video, it's like, my God, what an experience. 330 P4. Like, there are some pretty serious cars. Like, I would absolutely, but I'll travel for a lot of cars. I just did for a McLaren.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll travel for a lot.
But those are your top ones.
I got so many.
yeah.
I got nothing top of mind.
Hit one. I got so many, I can't name them.
That's right.
Right.
There's so many cars on my list, I don't even want to get into it.
I got a girlfriend. She's in the next town over.
Goes to different schools. Come on, give us
I
something.
got nothing top
Give
of mind
us
here. I don't know.
something.
I don't know.
Well, you would go to the next town over to drive a Fiat Panda 4x4.
I would go 3 towns over for that.
There it is. Fiat
Perfect.
Panda 4x4.
If you have a Fiat Panda 4x4 and you live in La Mesa, give us a call.
Piaggio Ape, I'll go even further.
See, look, yeah, he's got cars.
If you have a Piaggio Ape and you live in Escondido,
A Fiat Uno Turbo.
all right, we're done. That's the end of the pod. It was our finest ever. We're back. We're back in your living rooms and in your hearts and minds.
We're back. You're back on cars.
We're back. I'm back, and Zeker's coming for us.
Let's go.
Get ready.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.